We now cross over to the Federal High Court in Lagos, where Mr. Godwin Emefiele, the suspended governor of the central bank, is being arraigned. And our correspondent, Obadeoye, is there to feed reports. Obadeoye, good morning. Good to have you on the morning show.
Yes, good morning.
Okay, could you give us an idea of the environment at the Federal High Court and what is going on? We were told earlier on that Mr. Emefiele has arrived at the court premises, but just give us a sense of what the situation is there at the moment.
Okay, just some few minutes back, Mr. Emefiele was brought in a Toyota Hilux pickup vehicle by a group of DSS officials, and thereafter he was led into the courtroom. You can see a small crowd of people standing behind me there. That is the courtroom where we have Mr. Godwin Emefiele, and just a moment before I came before the camera, he was docked. He was put in the dock, and the matter took, it took off. I just had to come before the camera now to bring update to you. But right now, everybody's standing by within the court premises. We have journalists from across media organizations in Lagos and beyond trying to catch up with the pace of what is happening here. We still have, arms wielding security operatives. You can see some DSS officials, hooded DSS officials all around the court. Some of them came in here as early as 7 a.m. About 2 hours or thereabout before Mr. Emefiele was brought in the court. And we can also see a group of lawyers, coming in to standing for Mr. Emefiele, and of course perhaps standing for the DSS, that is the state. So right now we're not sure of the details of the charge sheet. They were about reading the charge sheet before I came here to bring updates to you. So the matter is under process as we speak, and from the look of things, that courtroom is very small, and journalists were not allowed inside that courtroom because it's a very small room, and some of us had to stay by the window, to pick one or two things from inside the courtroom. But I saw him being docked a moment before I came here. The environment is calm here. Everybody is anticipating, to get what the news will be at the end of the day, trying to feed their respective media organizations with updates from this end here.
Well, okay, Mr. Ade, thank you so much for the update. I'd like you to just talk about Mr. Emefiele. I know you said you saw him for a few minutes. There were some concerns raised about the state of his health, his well-being. What did he look like? Because unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to see him when he walked in. But what's his demeanor like? Does he also have family members there, or people, personal associates beyond his lawyers there with him?
So let me start with the last question. We cannot identify whether they are his family members or not, but he has people who came in here ahead of him being brought inside the Toyota Hilux this morning. There are people, private citizens, who came in here to identify with Mr. Godwin Emefiele. But when he came down from the vehicle, he was not looking his usual self, although not too frail. Not too frail, because he's clean shaven, and he was putting a cream, casual wear when he came down. So it's not that he was that sick, but that is not the usual Godwin Emefiele that we used to know. You agree with me that putting a man in custody, we have some effect on his appearance, whether it's a week or two or thereabout. The state of the mind of such a man will not, be in conformity with what his health used to be before now. But beyond that, he walked by himself into the courtroom, and there's nothing really to fret about in his appearance this morning.
Okay, have you been able to glean anything? Have you spoken to maybe any of the security authorities, or maybe when you put your ears in through the window, like you said was open, were you able to glean anything that was coming out of the proceedings?
Yes, by the time I came to give you this report that came before this camera. They were just reading the charge sheet against Mr. Emefiele. The court clerk was reading the charge sheet at the time I left there to come before the camera. And right now, nobody is talking to anybody. Everybody is just, wearing a expectant look, expecting to hear what the news will come from inside the courtroom there. Nobody's talking to anybody. As a matter of fact, some court clerk had to come to us this morning and trying to, to tell our cameramen to put off their camera, that they should not record. We don't know why that is, but of course, it's a matter of public interest, and that is why you have journalists here covering this development this morning. So nobody can stop the cameras from rolling, except only within the courtroom. But outside the courtroom, within the court premises, I don't think anybody can stop the camera from rolling. A court clerk, a particular court clerk, a lady, tried to shout down the cameraman this morning to stop them from filming, but nobody paid any attention to her. We couldn't get her name.
Okay.
We could not get her name. So,
do you have any information about the lawyers present in court? Do you have any information about the lawyers that are there, apart from the prosecutors? Defense counsel, for example, do you have any information as to who is leading the team? Is JB Daudu there? Is he the one leading the team?
We saw a lot of... Yes, JB Daudu is there. He came in this morning, but apart from him, there were other lawyers already inside the courtroom. We cannot, right now ascertain their identity, but I saw Mr. Daudu this morning coming down from the vehicle, the Jeep vehicle that brought him into the court premises this morning. But as the case proceeds, we'll be able to get the identities of some of these lawyers and feed you in with the update.
JB Daudu is the lead counsel for Emefiele, I understand. Okay. Thank you very much, Obadeoye, for joining us. Thank you very much. We'll keep in touch.